Hello, everybody. This is Brad, and this is a new episode of Brad's Bad Show About Games. And I'm recording this on a Wednesday, actually, because I haven't gotten to record a show for the weekend in a while, and I kind of wanted to do one before news started piling up. Um, and plus, something just got announced I'm going to talk about at the end, but I guess I just couldn't wait to talk about it anymore. But we're going to flip things a little bit. Instead of talk about Fortnite first like I usually do, we're going to save that for last because that's where I really want to spend some time. So we're going to jump right into things with something that's a little bit sad. Nintendo recently announced that on March 31st, the infamous date of the death of of Mario Brothers 35 on the Nintendo Switch Online account and the Super Mario 3D All-Stars collection will all be going away. Support for Super Mario Maker, the original game, on the Wii U will also drop. You will not be able to upload any new courses online from there. Now, I don't know if that also includes being able to play those courses online. I'd like to hope that they'll find some way. Like, I don't know. Is the online service going to be just gone forever? Maybe people need to get download courses while they can. I mean, I know the sequel's out there and everything, and it's still good, I guess. I haven't played Mario Maker 2 in a while. I kind of been wanting to go back to that. But, this is still sad, you know? The first Mario Maker game was crazy popular. It was a dream come true for, people who love the Super Mario Brothers games over the years. And just the very fact that you can build your own Mario courses in the style of Super Mario Brothers 3, just that was all I needed. I didn't need the other styles. Of course, I still like playing with the other styles, but that was all I wanted, to build my own version of Super Mario Brothers 3. And then the second game went even further to allow you to create your own map, which I started and never finished. I never finished anything. Call me Professor Calamitous. Anyway, that's a Jimmy Neutron reference for those of you who don't know. But yeah, it's a sad day. I love Mario Maker. I think the first one, the interface with the Wii U and the gamepad, was better than the Switch interface, to be honest. Though I think the Switch version has better tools and the extra option. Although I feel like Nintendo didn't really go all in on our, Mario 2, to be honest. I feel like they just kind of see it as a novelty game instead of like something that they should be very proud of. Because the section of the game where the 3D world option for building courses, it says extra courses, as in plural, but we only got one. And that's disappointing. As I know people were wanting Super Mario Brothers 2, and they kind of got that with one of the mushroom items. And I guess that's fine, I guess. I don't see that there's really a tremendous need for there to be, a whole nother style like that. But, I don't know. It seems like it could have done something. Maybe give us a Super Mario 64 style that plays similar to a 3D world where, it's a 2D game, but it's made in that pixel blocky, thing with that music. I would love that. But that was probably a long shot anyway. So I just wanted to throw that out there. If you still play the first Mario Maker, if you've got a Wii U, if you're one of the few people who still loves their Wii U, I love my Wii U. Even though I admit, yes, the Nintendo advertised it poorly. It wasn't that great of a console overall, but I still love it. And it's a sad day. I'm sitting there looking up on my wall at the free little 30th anniversary timeline poster that I got when I bought Mario Maker back 5 years ago. And it's got little images of all of the main Mario games. Starting, of course, in 85 with the original Mario Brothers, going up to 2015 with Mario Maker. So It's really cool. At least Mario Maker 2 is still out there. Hopefully people are still making courses with that. I think they still are. Nintendo's still supporting it. They just, they're not talking about it much. And speaking of Nintendo, I'm not going to throw up a new graphic for this, but they ran an update on the Switch. There's some rumors going out about it, but I haven't seen really anybody important talk about those rumors, so I'm not going to talk about them here. But they added avatar choices to the Switch main interface that you could select now. Mine's always been, pretty much since I got my Switch, has been Mario looking up at Cappy that's floating up above his head. But now they've added some for the Mario 35th anniversary that, are images from old classic covers of Mario games, like Mario, Tanuki Mario, or Mario with his raccoon ears and tail flying from the cover of Mario Bros. 3, and then Mario with the wing cap on the cover of Super Mario 64. So those are really cool to have, and I'm probably going to go get that Mario Bros. 3 one. Probably will swap out between it and the 64 Mario, because those are my two favorite Mario games. Though I have to admit, I think if I'm going to put Mario 3 and 64 tied for the top of my favorite game of all time, then right underneath them is Mario Odyssey. I think I honestly would rank Odyssey that good. I have so much fun when I play that game, and it's just it's a fun, pretty game to play. And before I rant any more about Mario, because I could go on and on about the Mario Brothers games, go check that out if you got your Switch, get that update, and get you some new avatars. Next, we're going to shift gears to something that's kind of weird. Because it's kind of just completely out of the blue, but then again, it's not. Gears of War 5 got a new DLC pack that is the New Day. Yes, the New Day from WWE. Big E, Xavier Woods, Kofi Kingston are playable characters in Gears of War 5. Make it make sense to me. I mean, the reason why this is weird to me is because WWE has pushed for so long to be kid-friendly, and they don't want to be too violent, and they don't want to, be too extreme, even though they dip their toes into it sometimes, because that was when they were at their, most popular. But it's just weird that these guys, and especially with their gimmick being, that the power of positivity, are going to be in like this game of slaughtering monsters and stuff. And it's like a gory game. I mean, it just doesn't make sense. But I think, if I remember right, Dave Bautista was DLC for a Gears game. It may have been this very game, Gears 5, or it may have been the previous one. I don't remember, but I want to say Bautista was a DLC character for this game, or this franchise, series, whatever. So maybe it's not too out of the blue that more people associated with WWE are going to be in a Gears game. But as far as their outfits look, if you could see them, they're inspired by the fact that they are, multiple-time WWE Tag Team and SmackDown, Raw and SmackDown Tag Team Champions. For those of you that don't watch WWE, and I haven't watched WWE at this point in years, but their tag team titles for each brand of their shows for Raw and SmackDown are the colors of the respective brand. So Raw's logo is red, so the Raw tag team titles are red. SmackDown is blue, therefore the SmackDown tag team titles are blue. And you can see that referenced in their costumes here. So that's cool, and I think they actually did come out during a pay-per-view or during the Raw or whatever it was, right after they announced this DLC pack. So they actually did wear these costumes out to the ring, or something inspired by them, if I remember correctly. But I don't keep up with wrestling very much anymore, to be honest. I've just kind of fallen out of love with wrestling itself at this point. Like, not wrestling, I guess, itself, because I still think wrestling is cool overall. It's just I can't get into the current stuff right now with AEW and WWE and Impact and the NWA and all these other things. There's just nothing there to get my attention right now. and I've just stopped caring about it, to be honest. It's been like 3 years. I think the last time I watched a WWE show and was looking forward to it was the WrestleMania where the main event for the WWE Championship was supposed to be AJ Styles defending against Shinsuke Nakamura. And I was so disappointed by that match because I thought I saw their New Japan match, and it was such a good match. And then they have this match at WrestleMania where they've hyped it up as like one of the greatest wrestling matches you're probably ever going to see. It was a dream match to see AJ Styles and Nakamura for the WWE title at WrestleMania. And then it was just lackluster. Like, Nakamura had won the Royal Rumble. I was like, of course, it just makes sense. Like, everybody wants to see him win. They want to see Nakamura become the champion. He, at that point, or when Nakamura signed with the WWE, he was the most popular wrestler in the world. And they signed him, and he was hot for a while. Then they brought him up to the main roster, and they didn't do anything with him. I mean, it just killed his momentum, and I think people just stopped caring. And I think, honestly, to a point, he may have stopped caring. Not entirely, but I don't think that necessarily... If somebody said, he went in and he wasn't that worried about being the WWE champion, I would believe that. Although that would be weird considering how many people love his work and wanted him to be the champ. But again, that's just something. That's getting off into a different conversation. It's not about video games, so I'm going to just cut it off there. But, as far as this goes, I don't play Gears of War, nothing against it. It's just never really interested me. I mean, I bet it is fun. But, it, as weird as it is to have such a group from wrestling that's supposed to be kid friendly and kid appropriate, and they don't want to expose kids to things. It is weird to see them specifically in Gears of War because that's certainly not a game kids should be playing, at least if you heed the warnings of the rating system. But I mean, let's be honest here. Kids are going to play Gears of War anyway. I mean, it's sort of just an accepted fact at this point that the most violent video games tend to be enjoyed by, or tend to have very big audience amongst kids. So, it is what it is. But hey, congratulations to the New Day in terms of wrestling personalities. They seem to be they seem to be three of the more likable guys in wrestling. In terms of the overall, what they do outside of wrestling. And they seem to be very respected, outside of the ring as well. So, that's good for them. I mean, Xavier Woods is also going to be part of G4. He had a whole campaign for it. And to be honest, as far as, a big personality around games, you really couldn't get any bigger than Xavier Woods, Austin Creed, which is still weird to me because his Twitter handle and everything now is going by Austin Creed, but they still call him Xavier Woods in the ring, and it's just so weird. It's such a weird thing to do. Oh, it's Xavier Woods. What's his Twitter hashtag or what's his Twitter handle? Oh, it's at Austin Creed wins. I think that's what his actual thing, but. It's just so weird to see him hey, it's your boy Austin, or, and then he goes by Xavier. It gets confusing, or it's just weird to me. It's not confusing, but it irks me. It's a nitpicky thing. So, that's a me problem entirely. I'll admit that. But anyway, congratulations to these guys, and if anything was going to get me to check out the Gears franchise, it would probably be this, so I could play that game as the New Day. So, maybe one day I'll have to do that. But speaking of games where you shoot people, it's time to move on to the main event. And that is, of course, Fortnite talk. And there was a lot of it. Yesterday, at long last, we had the event. The Nexus War finally had come to an end. We faced Galactus, and we won. But it was sketchy there for a minute. So let me explain this. So first off, they were telling people, make sure you're logged into the servers an hour early to make so that, because it's a limited thing. There's going to be tons of people trying to get in to watch the event. Get in early so that you make sure that you're able to see the event. I had the game turned on and logged in like 4 hours ahead of time. And I played a few little goof rounds where I had just, because like they've got all this Marvel stuff in the shop, or they did have it, it's gone now, from over the last season or two, for all the Marvel skins that they've released. They brought back the Deadpool stuff from season 2, and the only one I really, really wanted was Deadpool's scooter, because when Deadpool came out earlier this year, I was just short of V-Bucks to get the scooter. I didn't care, like, I wouldn't be too sad to not get the Chimichangas emote. I wouldn't be too sad to miss the Meaty Mallets harvesting tool, because I think that, honestly, it's a silly harvesting tool just because he's got Deadpool's face on it doesn't mean anything to me. It should have been his katanas. Everybody seems to agree with that. The Dragacorn, Llamacorn, whatever it's called, that Deadpool rides as his official glider. It's kind of silly, too. It's funny, but it's kind of silly. And the Ravenpool and Cuddlepool skins just, they're cool, I guess, but I'm not dying to have them. So I only wanted the scooter. So I got in and I did a few rounds where I just got on the scooter and I got as close to a popular area as I could, and I would just scoot around town and watch people shoot at me and try to kill me. And apparently that's a little more difficult than I anticipated it to be, because there was literally one person that spent like a whole minute trying to shoot me, and they kept missing because I was weaving around and dodging bullets. And then I rode right between two people shooting each other. And then they fought each other until one of them won, and then the winner killed me. So that's what I was doing early on. But got in the game. It was about 45 minutes before the event started. And the first thing I noticed was so what I wanted to do going in was I wanted to sort of bring everything full circle with this event. And by that, the skin I was going to go into with, it was Captain America. Captain America was the first of the Marvel superheroes to show up on the island specifically for this event, because in season 3 there was a whole trailer. There was a whole animated trailer showing the Bifrost, I don't know what you call it, teleporter, ray, whatever, transporter, bringing Captain America to the map. And people then immediately, given the Bifrost and the indentation in the ground from the trailer, assumed Thor was coming. And that ended up being right, because Mjolnir showed up on the island just a few days before the season ended. So I thought it would be a great way to end this season to have the first hero show up to fight Galactus, and I equipped him with Mjolnir because they did that as a little Easter egg thing for the Avengers movie, where Mjolnir determined Captain America was worthy of its power. So there are only 2 skins in Fortnite that can use Mjolnir as a harvesting tool, and that is, of course, Thor and Captain America. So I equipped it with Mjolnir, but they disabled the harvesting tools for the event. You can only just run around and do emotes. So that was weird, and unfortunately I didn't get to see Mjolnir out. But that's just, that's a little thing. Then after 45 minutes, the event starts. Now, I guess me and everybody else thought Galactus was rising up out of the water after he had disappeared from the sky. He wasn't. That was just his head over the horizon. He wasn't in the water. He's probably not even on the planet. So I watched this big head start moving, and he just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And people were like, I know people, I think, were sort of jokingly referencing that maybe if all this stuff is connected, maybe Travis Scott would come back and fight Galactus, because Travis was huge in that astronomical event. But as big as Travis was in that event, Galactus is way bigger. He's huge. Like, Travis was so big, he was walking around on the map and like he could take a step or two and be across the island. Galactus, on the other hand, is so big, his hand was basically the entire size of the island. He could have just put his hand down and pushed the island under the water. That's how big he was. So the first thing he does, he comes up out of the water and he's massive, and he says, "Beware, I hunger." Because remember, Galactus is not evil. He's just a force of nature. And for those of you who aren't aware of Galactus, and I just butchered that whole sentence. For those of you who aren't aware necessarily of the backstory involving Galactus, he is like a deity god who wields the power cosmic. Again, basically one of the, if not the most powerful characters in the Marvel Multiverse. And in order for him to sustain this great power, he has to feed on planets just to survive. So he eats planets not as a means of, he does it not out of villainy and to take life away from other people. He does it because he literally needs to, or he'll die, or the power will consume him or something. So of course the story was, that when the first chapter of Fortnite ended with the black hole, that surge of power caught Galactus' attention, and he immediately decided to set out to find the Zero Point, because it's an infinite source of power from, as far as I know. This great energy source, of course, would sustain his great power and would probably be very good for him. But the event seems to show like he was trying to eat it, but then it may have been at first where this great power might have initially been a little bit too much for him, because it looked like for a very brief minute, it looked like the Zero Point was trying to overtake Galactus. But he quickly reestablished dominance over it and kept eating it. Then the whole event shows up. First, beforehand, Galactus backhands the helicarrier we're all on. It goes crashing down in flames. Suddenly, Iron Man flies into your screen, throws you a jetpack. You watch Galactus start eating the Zero Point. Then Iron Man says, we got to stop him, because the entirety of reality is going to collapse if we don't do something quick. Then you get teleported onto a battle bus. It's decked out with tons of gamma bombs. And you look out the windows, and there's literally like countless battle buses there. And I didn't think about it at the time of the event, but this was a cool way to basically reference everyone playing at that moment together and give you a sense that we were all in the same battle. We were all taking part of the same fight. Now, it's not true. You were by yourself, of course, and everybody was seeing the same thing. But it's a nice little way to seem like we're all connected. Like a big multiverse, mirror worlds and all, where we're all driving the same vehicle. It's just a nice little thing. So then you get to actually fly the battle bus and defeat Gorgers as Galactus launches them at you. Luckily, the battle bus is way stronger than the guns on the island, and it's very easy to defeat the Gorgers in this little mini game. Then suddenly, Galactus sees you. He's going to try to kill you. Thor takes you and uses his great power to guide you through Galactus' arm, which I can only guess is supposed to be a reference to Star Wars because of the way it plays out, where you're flying through these crevices, which is actually just Galactus' humongous arm, and it's very reminiscent of Star Wars. I think that's clearly what they were going for. While AC/DC is playing in the background, because apparently that's a thing with Tony Stark. From what I've read or a video I watched, it's supposed to be an Easter egg about Tony Stark, is that he's a big AC/DC fan. So they had to put in an AC/DC song for the authenticity. Also, of course, like they were talking about, demonetization and stuff. That's gonna be it. So if you make money off this video, if you're hoping to make money off this video, might want to have a backup plan. But then we get we're surrounded by robots. Wolverine steps up, takes them all out real easy. Then Galactus swallows our bus. We get out. All the gamma bombs that were on the buses is just literally millions. Stark actually said billions. So billions of gamma flooded bombs, on these billions of battle buses. All of that together with Stark's modifications opened up a giant rift and sent Galactus back to where he came from. So Galactus is not dead. I'm not even sure you can kill Galactus, but he has been returned to his original world, and I can't help but wonder if, because Galactus did, consume a lot of the energy from the Zero Point, if that means that he's now satisfied. He has taken the result of that, as you see from the cutscene immediately after Galactus is defeated, is John Jones wakes up in the secret headquarters, wherever he is in a panic. And I think I know where he was anyway. So it looks like from that, Galactus has destabilized the Zero Point, and the island is sort of in chaos. Before we get into that, though, which leads into the next season, I do want to say this was a very cool event. I think at this point I'm kind of getting used to these Fortnite events. I feel like there should have been more for some reason. This was a really cool event, and watching Galactus just slowly get closer to the island and just to see how massive he really was really cool. I just feel like maybe the minigame itself should have gone on longer. I don't know. Other than that, great event. I had fun with it. Story-wise, it's really exciting, But, yeah, so thumbs up for the event. So then we move on to, of course, the second part. After the game went down, we find out that the island is unstable. And, excuse me, stretching a minute. The island is unstable. The Zero Point is unstable. And apparently, because of this, people could escape the loop of the island. And John Jones answers the red phone. It's talking about, hey, like, the lady on the phone is like, hey, you got to do something about it. We can't let anybody escape the loop. You got to go out there and do something. And he's like, really? And don't think anybody wants me to be stuck in the loop again. But she's like, look, this is serious. Get out there. And he's like, okay, I got you. And she brings up, don't draw attention. Don't get the attention of the Seven, okay? And then he runs away. So we may see the Seven return. But anyway, his plan is apparently in order to keep the inhabitants of the island from escaping, there's going to be bounties placed on. He's called in a bunch of bounty hunters to keep them from escaping. So his plan is to ensue chaos across the island until he can stabilize the Zero Point and seal it away again. Because right now on the current map for Season 5, the Zero Point is just out floating in the middle of the map. And to do that, the first person that he recruited to his team was Star Wars' Mandalorian. So the Mandalorian is a character on the map. In fact, I started the season this morning. He is the first character I came across, and I managed to get him. So my first kill of the season was the Mandalorian. Anyway, so let's talk about before I get into that. I did a review of the Battle Pass of this year's season's Battle Pass. I'm gonna upload that on YouTube at some point. I literally just made the Galactus event public. I hope people will find that. I couldn't get it up yesterday. And I hate that I couldn't get it up on the same day. Because I feel like that misses a chance. Because people are already going to be, people are already going to be done with the Galactus event after yesterday. And now everybody's going to be focusing on the new season. But hopefully people will find this event. It may take a little while. It took a little while for the Travis Scott event for me to take off. But the device event didn't take off. So, I don't know. Anyway, I'm not going to talk about the Battle Pass because I already did that. And that's in a video. But I did subscribe to the new Fortnite subscription service. It's $12 a month. You get an exclusive skin set, skin pack, whatever you want to call it, every month. The Battle Pass is automatically included when there is a new Battle Pass. So you automatically get that. And you get 1,000 V-Bucks every month. That's a good deal. Especially considering like the Battle Pass 2. I don't know if this is just for this season or going forward. But this Battle Pass, the V-Bucks rewards total is 1,500. Not 900 like it was, or 800. I think it was 900 for the previous few Battle Passes. In terms of free V-Bucks you get as you play through. So that's a lot of V-Bucks just for subscribing. So yeah, I'm excited to do more videos now. The gameplay is really cool too. The bounty system is very interesting. The game feels, in a way, the game still feels like Fortnite, but it feels new at the same time. It feels like you're playing an old and new game at the same time. And that's really cool to me. So the game changes just enough to where it feels like something brand new, but it doesn't alienate people either. There's still the building, there's still the chests and the regular guns. The upgrades and all are changed to work differently with the new gold currency that's in the game that actually carries over in just the regular Battle Royale mode. I don't think it works that way in competitive. But it's a very cool, interesting, fresh idea. I like it. And I think this is going to be a very exciting season. I think this lasts through till halfway through March. So we're in for a nice long season. And what else could I say about Fortnite than the announcement that just literally happened an hour or two ago from the time when I sat down to record this? Apparently, God of War's Kratos is coming to Fortnite at some point. Kratos is coming to Fortnite. Like, think about that. Like, we just did a whole season of Marvel characters, of which we also saw the physical release of a DC Comics character pack for the Joker and Poison Ivy. That's going to be brought in digitally this month at some point. But the first new character coming to the game is Kratos. And PlayStation already posted one of the Jonesy audio files, reality logs as they're calling them, of where Jonesy is recruiting various bounty hunters and, warriors from across time and space to come join the island to help ensue further chaos. So, who better to bring than one who smites gods? Better question would be, why wasn't this guy called to fight Galactus? I mean, if Kratos can slay almost any god, then he probably would have been a lot helpful with the Galactus fight. But this is exciting. But it does leave me to wonder, because I've been reading people's thoughts. I saw I think it was uh oh, what's his name? Is it Greg Miller? Game Over Greggy, that account. I hate not knowing things for sure. I retweeted it. Let me look. It is, yeah, Greg Miller. He posted this 3 hours ago, it says. So that's how long it's been. It's not 2. Game Awards prediction: Kratos, Chief, Samus in Fortnite. Now, I hope he's right. But that leaves the question. This is going to come as a PlayStation rep to this game. If you're playing on the Nintendo or Steam or on the Xbox, would you be able to buy Kratos? I would like to hope you could. I would love to be able to, I think that would suck if these are version exclusives that only, you can only get Kratos if he's on the PlayStation. Like, that just sounds terrible to me, man. It also sort of goes against this idea of, like, the worlds being, intersected in this Fortnite realm. Like, I hope they can work out a deal, especially because I said this. I don't think I posted this. I may or may not have, but I've been thinking it lately. That Nintendo should put Samus in Fortnite to get some hype up for whenever they do Metroid Prime 4. I thought that was sort of just like an idea, not one to be taken seriously, but it wouldn't surprise me now. I think it could be possible that they will put Samus in Fortnite if Sony and PlayStation are having Kratos put in. Nintendo could just as easily say, okay, here's do a Samus skin. But my problem with it is that, will Nintendo allow this skin to be playable on the Xbox? Like, if I buy a skin in Fortnite through my Microsoft account that is tied to Epic, can I buy a Samus skin on my Xbox? Like, I don't know why they couldn't work out a deal that allows this to happen so that as many people as possible could get the skins. Like, I get exclusive skins would be cool, but like these third-party skins, like, oh, you can only have Kratos, this wildly popular character, if you play it on the Xbox. Or you can only have Samus if you're playing on a Nintendo Switch. So that just tells me that, like, oh crap, like, I've been playing this game for almost a year on an Xbox. I'm going to miss out on 2 really cool skins just because I'm not playing it on the right console. Like, that's just terrible to me. I would hate that. Absolutely hate it. So, if they do go that route and they bring these characters in, I'm hoping they won't make them version exclusive, because I think that would suck. I mean, people are going to want to buy these characters. Make them as available as you possibly can. Make a deal so that everybody's character appears on every console. Let Kratos be buyable on the Switch and the Xbox and on Steam. And the same for Samus. And, I mean, work with the fans on this. Because not everybody's going to have every console to get every skin. And there are going to be people who are like, oh, well, like I said, if you want Samus, well, if you don't have a Nintendo and it's exclusive to Nintendo, you can't get Samus. So hopefully they'll make that deal work. I mean, I don't see why it would be any different than, say, giving like Banjo and Minecraft Steve to Smash Brothers, or any other third-party character that Nintendo doesn't own. Like, oh, it's okay for all these other characters outside of what we own to show up in our big game, but you can't do the same with the others because it's cross-platform. Like, the very fact that it's cross-platform should encourage you to let the skin be bought on any console. You're still going to make money off of it. If it's your skin that they paid you for, of course, and you're probably going to get some portion of the sales of the skins. So, there you go. That's my only worry about this. It's still really cool that he's coming. I mean, like the first skin you get in this battle pass is the Mandalorian. Okay, so the very first day this season goes up, they reveal Kratos is coming at some point, probably this weekend. Like, I hope that's a sign there's going to be a lot of crossover. Like, it was all Marvel and then the Joker thing last season, but this could be really, really cool. Because who knows who could show up at this point. I tweeted out from my Twitter account, which is at bradsmithVR, that PlayStation and Fortnite should work together to bring more of these PlayStation characters over. And I suggested Drac and Daxter. Drac is not the... Jack and Daxter. I think Jack and Daxter has still a strong fan base. They want to see another game. But in terms of like characters who would fit within Fortnite as a shooter game, Jack would fit right in. He'd look a little different considering he looks like a space elf kinda, and Daxter, of course, with that weird ocelot looking ferret body he's got. That could be a pet similar to Rocket Raccoon. I think that would be really exciting to see Jack in that game. But anyway, that's all I got this time. So I hope you enjoyed listening to me talk. Again, I just really, really hope that these third-party characters don't start, bringing limitations with them. That would suck so much. So let's hope that this works out for everybody. But anyway, thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. Go watch all my videos, including the Devourer of Worlds from yesterday. And we will see you next time. Later.